Hello, what is up, guys? Today we will be discussing on interest and what it is. So let's start off with what is interest, what it is. Interest is effectively, it is the cost. This is a bit of a rudimentary definition, but it will do for now. Cost to use someone else's money. Someone else's money. Else's money. So if you wanted to buy an item which costed $10,000, so it cost $10,000, and you unfortunately do not have this $10,000. Well, what you could do is you could say to someone, well, I need $10,000. So then you say to him, can I have $10,000? Then he goes, okay, but but you will have to pay it back, and you'll have to pay it back in the form of a loan. So he loans you $10,000. And obviously there are many ways that loan credit can work and things like that. And we've discussed this in previous topics if you haven't watched those. So he loans you $10,000. So he gives you this $10,000 upfront to buy this item. So this is upfront. But now you have to pay him that $10,000 back, right? He's not a charity that's just going to give you free money. So you decide that you'll pay him back the $10,000 over the course of 3 years. But he wants to also benefit from this loan, right? He's giving you this $10,000. Like right now, inflation, things like that can happen. So he says, I want a 5% monthly interest. Meaning that each month you will pay him 5% interest on the outstanding principal. I'm not familiar with that term. We have other videos such as revolving credit versus installment credit where we discuss this term of outstanding principal. But that's basically what interest is. So you will be paying him a 5% interest monthly on top of what you have to pay him each month over the course of 3 years for the $10,000. So you'll end up actually paying him slightly over $10,000. Well, not slightly. You'll pay him over $10,000 is what you'll pay back. But the advantage is you get this $10,000 upfront so you can buy the item which you want as soon as you want. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, why do we charge interest? Now, why it is charged? Well, there are two main reasons that are at least coming to my head right now why we charge interest. There are definitely others, but here are two big ones. Why we charge interest. So, interest charged for two primary reasons. One, benefit to the lender, right? If you're depositing money into a savings account on the bank, to a bank, or you're giving someone money, right, you want to gain something out of it. You've structured this deal. You've, done the whole planning and everything like that. You're not just giving out money for free, so you want something. Benefit to lender. The second reason is for risk. And I'm going to write brackets inflation. So in most healthy economies, well, in almost every healthy economy, we always have a small amount of inflation every year. This just means that as in what you could buy with $10,000 in 1990 is not going to be the same as what you can buy with $10,000 in 2020. It's not going to be the same amount of things. I mean, same amount of things as what $10,000 in 2020 is not worth the same as $10,000 in 1990. This is called inflation. Basically, the purchasing power of money goes down. Let me just write red for it goes down. So in order to combat this interest, especially with a longer loan, like, buying a house, something like that, where it can be like 500,000, $1 million, right? You'll pay this loan back over like 30 years. You want to minimize that risk, and you minimize that risk by adding interest to that loan, because now you'll pay them more than $10,000, right? With this, in this case, with the 5% monthly interest, you'd pay over $10,000. So you also use interest to combat this risk, So those are two big reasons, combating risk and benefit to lender. Thank you for listening, and goodbye. I hope you found this video helpful.